Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on which part of the world you are watching us today. Welcome to our Facebook Live. I am of the I Am Magazine International, the I Am News Live. I am Yadira Gonzalez Munoz, founder and CEO of Europe. I Am Magazine was created on December 19, 2019, with an intrepid group of entrepreneurs who believed in my vision of the I Am revolution. We are a digital magazine designed and dedicated to providing an insightful and optimistic, upbeat look at what makes us special and unique. And we want to share the gift of love, education, mentality, and much more to the world. And that is why we begin to present our most precious professionals who have been part of the I Am magazine throughout these years of virtual and digital empowerment. Today, we present Teresa Greco, and she's an educational technology consultant, happiness expert, and two times best-selling author. Knowing a little bit more about Teresa is this interview. In this interview, will give us a better vision of who she is. She is also one of the amazing contributors of the I Am magazine, and you can read all the articles in any of our magazines. I will put the link under this video so you can go and join the website. First of all, I want to welcome Teresa. Thank you for being here with us today. How are you doing?
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. First of all, we want to start to know, who are you? Who is Teresa Greco?
Well, first off, because of the platform of your magazine, I'm going to say that I am a spiritual being having a human experience. That is who I am. In this lifetime, I am an educational technologies consultant. As you said, I am a happiness expert or happiness life coach. I am the weekly host of an internet show called the Steps to Happiness Show on with Teresa Greco on Soul Livity TV, so you can catch it there on that platform. I am a 3-time best-selling author. I contribute to 3 international magazines. I'm the editor at 2 Canadian lifestyle magazines. I am a Reiki master, intuitive healer, and channeler, as well as a mother of 2 beautiful and inspirational children.
I love it. That is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. But I want to know your essence, your I am, besides all the things that you do. We know that you're a mother, but your essence, how did you um yeah, your I am.
Well, my I am presence is the same as everyone's I am presence, right? We're part of all that is. So I am love, I am peace, I am happiness, I am harmony, I am part of Mother Earth. I am part of all the very beautiful things that make up, what we call the universe, but it's more than just that. So yes, I'm a part of all of that.
That is great. That is wonderful. I love it. So you were telling us a little bit before of what you do, but what do you do exactly besides all these things, like
The
uh
work.
yeah, your work, your
Work.
work.
All that I do is really a way for me to be able to hopefully make a positive difference in the lives of others. So all of the different hats that I wear, the intention is always how may I serve, how may I serve, how may I change people's lives in whatever capacity I can do that in. The things that I enjoy doing personally include writing, as you probably figured that out. I really love to read. I read a lot. I surround myself, so in my happiness toolkit, I surround myself with many things that are for me inspirational, uplifting, and remind me of who I really am. So I read lots of books. I watch lots of videos, or I listen to the videos. I have audiobooks that I listen to. I take courses. I love to learn. I am a lifelong learner, and I think when you know that as a soul coming to have this human experience, it's all about the learning. So I I think that's another reason why I wear so many hats is because I love learning new things. So as soon as I've mastered something, I'm off to the next thing. So I love exercising. I love walking in nature. I love dancing. I love music. I love pizza. I love the color blue. I love being at the beach. I love meditating. I love, I think those are the main things that I would say that I surround myself with the most.
That is wonderful. That is one of the best and the most important things that we have to do in our lives, because if we don't enjoy every little moment or every little thing, then it's not going to be
Hmm.
a enjoyable
Hmm.
life. And mostly because this brings us a positive influence in our life. And then we can also be part of a positive world, giving this influence to others. So I want to ask you, why do you do it? What came to you for doing this, what you're doing at the moment, helping others? Because that's the point of it, or just to help others. Why do you do it?
Hmm.
What came to you to do it?
So my definition of success for me and my lifetime would be that I have left a positive mark on the world, that when I leave it one day, that I will have made a difference. The greatest difference that I will make is in the lives of my children. I I take that responsibility very seriously, in that I am here to guide them to become the people that they were meant to be in this lifetime, not who I want them to be, but who they came here to be. And my job as a mom is to help guide them and support them and to love them on that journey. So that is my first and foremost responsibility, and I believe where I'm going to make the biggest difference, because they were given to me as gifts. Aside from that, then, as I said, all of the other things I'm involved with are for me an opportunity to be able to, again, make a positive difference in the lives of those that I touch every day. And I try to find vehicles where I'm able to do that. So that is why I write, coach, and speak about happiness, how we can connect to the happiness inside of us, that we're conditioned to believe that it is outside of us. That's part of my happiness journey that I've been on for 10 years, that we're conditioned to believe that it's in our possessions, in our positions, our titles, degrees, relationships, and experiences, that, until we acquire these things, until we pursue these things, until we wait for these things, until we achieve these things, until we earn these things, lots of different ways of looking at it. But until you realize that happiness is your essential nature, it's who you really are, then the burden of looking and searching for happiness outside of you is gone. You are happiness. It's just a matter of tapping into it. Many of us are not tapping into it because we're working 60 to 80 hours a week. We get to the end of the week, we're tired, we're cranky, we're miserable, we're overworked, we're stuck in traffic, our relationships aren't functioning, our health is suffering. Lots of different things are suffering because we are not making time to connect with the happiness inside of us. And so this is the message that I hope to share with people, is to help them to live the happy life that they came here to live. We didn't come here to just have that, as that saying, to have it, life is shit and then you die. We didn't come down here for that. That's
Yes.
not what we came here for. And if that's the life that you're living, then you need to take a step back and evaluate your life and the different aspects, and maybe what's preventing you from connecting to the happiness that's always inside you, to feel the love, peace, and happiness that's always there. It is our being. Happiness is a state of being, not a state of mind. It's more than just a state of mind. So when you know that, then we can start to take action towards the life that we actually want to live, instead of thinking that it's always outside of our grasp, to
Yeah.
to think that we're victims to what's happening outside of us. We're not. We can choose the life that we want to live at every moment we choose. Even if you choose to sit on the couch and watch Netflix every day on end, that is still a choice. versus choosing to do something else. Well, and all the things that I choose to do every day, I have so many, so many things to choose from, and creating that happiness toolkit as well of the things that you know make you happy. So as you said, what is your I am presence, is that in my toolkit, I have a lot of those different things that I mentioned, because those are all of the things that help me to connect with the happiness that's inside of me. So, why do I do everything that I do? It is to try to help others, to try to be a light worker in the world, to try to share the message of what we all are, of who we really are, of where we came from, to be that lighthouse to guide people home to who they really are. That is why I do everything that
I
I
love it. I love the way that you say it, but it is true. I relate with everything that you say because um, I believe that we, especially women, okay, I'm not gonna
do.
exclude men, but especially women, we have, if we're mothers, we have to take care of our kids, we have to take care of the home, we have to take care of our husband, we have to take care of our job, or whatever we are doing. We're actually multifacetic. We do everything at the same time, and most of the time, we forget who we are. We get lost on that path. And when you say about finding happiness, I remember that a long time ago. Now I know about this. Now I know who I am. Now I know my happiness within myself. But before this, I was a bitter person. I was divorced. I was taking care of three kids. Time was, working two, three different jobs to be able to maintain my kids. But I was not happy. I was always thinking, if I find the perfect job that is going to pay me this much, I'll be happy. The day that I find the right man, I will be happy. The day I buy the house, the car, I will be happy. And I remember my mom used to tell me, Yadira, happiness is within yourself. No one is going to make you happy. Nothing is going to make you happy, only yourself. And I never thought about it until I had an experience that made my life change from one moment to the other. And I realized that. And I remember calling my mom one day and say, Mom, I found it. And she was like, What? I say, happiness. And then it's like, I told you. And they're like, yeah, it is within myself. And what you say, it is true, because the moment that you discover your self love, the moment that you discover your I am, like I said, start
Mhm.
falling in love with yourself,
Yes.
everything else around you changes. That suffering that you are actually making it happen
Mhm.
in your life is going to disappear, it's going to change. And I believe that because it happened to me. So
Mhm.
everything that you say, I relate to that, because it's a real amazing change in anyone's life. The moment that we find, like I say, the I am, the moment that you fell in love with yourself, and that the moment you will find happiness within yourself. So I love what you say, because it is like that, and what you do, because this is amazing. So tell me, how do you do it? What is the process that you use to help people do this?
So I have a couple different mediums, let's say, or channels that I use to do that. So as a coach, I'm the founder of a personal development company that helps others to embrace and celebrate their true and authentic self. So I have a coaching practice. I am also the editor and senior writer at two Canadian lifestyle magazines. So I share happiness advice there as well. And I contribute to three international magazines. So I actively write and talk about my brand is the Steps to Happiness brand. And so it's very much about talking about the steps that we can take to arrive at our inner happiness, as well as living our true and authentic selves. That to be happy is to be happy with yourself. And to be happy with yourself means that you need to be in touch with your true and authentic self. That when we are wearing different masks or different cloaks or different veils that are not who, and we present ourselves in the world as not who we really are, we're that's we're not going to connect with the happiness inside of us by doing that. That part of my story was that I was living my life according to external expectations
Yeah.
for who everybody thought I should be. That I was trying to be the perfect mom, perfect wife, perfect daughter-in-law, perfect sister, perfect sister-in-law, and on and on and on. All of the people that I needed to be for everybody else, and losing myself in the process. That part of my happiness journey is that for me, it was approaching 40 and realizing that I had lost myself in the living of my life. How do you arrive at potentially half your life and not know who you are? And that was and that's sad to know that, because I was so living my life according to what everyone else expected me to be and not knowing who I really am. And so that really am is where we connect to that true and authentic self, where we take those masks off. I call them cloaks, because for me, cloaks are those things that close our eyes and prevent us from seeing who we really are and knowing who we really are. And so I'm in the process of removing those cloaks. And those cloaks were put on me by well meaning people in my life, parents and educators and spiritual leaders that, and colleagues and friends that told me who I was supposed to be, or what the world was about, and what I would ever be able to accomplish because of, you know, my sex or where I live, or um, my culture, and lots of different things to say, you know, and these are the limitations that you have, and this is the glass ceiling that you live beneath. And so I'm in the process of removing those cloaks to uncover the true authentic self that I am. And when you do that, then you can really live the life that you came here to live. Many people are not happy because they're not living the life they came here to lead. They're living false. They're living falsely, and they're living false lives in the sense that they wanted their life to be something else when they came here. They wanted to do something else for work. They're not doing their passion. They're not living or working their passion. And so many people are suffering from depression and anxiety, and feeling many emotions that are all indicators that are there to tell you you're not living the life you came here to lead. You're not being the person that you came here to be. Those Happiness is a compass. Happiness leads us towards that life that we came here to lead. And when we're not feeling happy, those are all indicators to help us to realize that we're not living the life that we came here to live.
True. That is so amazing what you say, what you do, how you do it, because not everybody discovers who we are. We have to have like a push, or we have to have some kind of thing that happens to us for us to be able
Mm,
to discover
mm,
ourselves. And it could be a long process. For me, it took a long time. But
mm,
it is amazing, because the moment that you realize or you discover, okay, yes, I have to get to know who I am, my purpose, my why, and myself, my how can I say, my deep self. That's the moment that we realize, okay, I need to change. I now I know. And that's the moment that we don't have what I say. You never have to wait until that moment comes. You have to start as soon as possible. The moment that you say, okay, I
yes.
really want to start, even if you know that you love yourself, it is so nice to have something or someone, a coach like Teresa, saying, okay, let me help you, let me guide you, let me show you how you can do it better, how you can do it
Mm,
faster. Because when we have our
mm,
coaches or our mentors, we even do this even faster than when we do it alone. For
mhm,
me, it took a
mhm,
long time because I did it alone. But when you have this amazing help that is holding your hand and telling you how or what to do or when to do it, then it's easier. So, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us. And one of the things I really, really want to invite everyone is to follow Teresa, follow her on her Facebook. Then, if you want some services from her, you can get in contact with her on Facebook. And we want to invite you. I am Magazine International and Teresa. We want to invite you to a masterclass called Self Love. And this is going to be on the 2nd of April. at 12 p.m. Eastern, that's Canada time, and at 6 p.m. Central Europe in Belgium. But Teresa, before we leave, can you let us know what we will be learning on this masterclass?
Sure, absolutely. I just wanted to add on to what I was saying before. You can also listen to a lot of these conversations that we have on my show, on the Steps to Happiness show with Teresa Greco, which is on soulivity.com. If you go to that platform, and it's on YouTube as well under Soul Livity Magazine, is where you can catch all of the episodes of the show where we talk about a lot of these concepts. So, about the self love workshop that we'll be having on April 2nd. So, on that workshop is where number one, we'll be talking about happiness and people's definition of happiness. And so it's important for us to identify how how we view happiness, where we think happiness is located. Again, many of us think that happiness is located outside of us. And so that is where we're going to take a look at some of the very popular happiness paradigms that are out there around. Where are we going to find happiness? And so that's part of the workshop. After we identify that, we're going to take a look at the importance of connecting with and nurturing all aspects of ourselves. And so we have our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. So we have our four bodies, let's say, and it's important that we're always taking care of them. In the process of doing that, we're always taking care of all aspects, which is really cool. So even though we may be focusing on our physical self, by doing that, we're also improving some of the other aspects. And so we're going to talk about that and the way each of our each of the four aspects is constantly communicating with us as well. So understanding what that communication is. What we're also going to be looking at is what self-love really means. And so again, it's something I would say it's a popular buzzword like meditation, love yourself, love yourself. But are people really loving themselves? Do they really know what loving themselves means? Do you is it just, taking time to go and get a massage or a hot bath, or is it actually more than that? So we're going to talk about what true self-love means. And then we're going to look at the various ways that we can love ourselves, our physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual self. So we're going to go really deep into looking at how do we do that? How do we love our physical self? How do we show ourselves that love? How do we show our emotional self that love? Our mental self and our spiritual self. So we're going to go into the various ways that we can do that and go in it and go in it deeply. And have conversations around how we can do that and why some of those ways are really effective. Loving our mental self is really important because it all starts at the level of the mind. The mind creates emotions, and then the emotions create behaviors, and the behaviors create the life that we're living. So it's that part is really important, and talking about how do we remain committed to doing that, how to remain dedicated, because it's not like we show ourselves love once a month when we go to the spa. Like it's a daily thing. It's a moment by moment thing where we're constantly connected to the love that we are, and we are living our life from that space. And so when we are connected to the love inside of us, only then can we really live our happiest lives again, because we're living authentically and we're connected to the essence that we are, that love, peace, and happiness that we are. And so those are the things that we're going to be looking at in the workshop.
That is amazing. I think it's very important for anyone or everyone to join us so you can start getting to know the point by point that the aspects that Teresa is going to help us finding our happiness, our self love. So thank you for being with us, and thank you, Teresa, for being with us. And we are going to be next Friday presenting another human being, another empowering human being. So don't miss our show. Don't forget to join the I Am Revolution. So subscribe as a member. And thank you so much, Teresa, for being with us today. And we are looking forward for the workshop. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to leave and bye until next time.